Hey, welcome on in, guys. Tobin here with you. Thanks for checking out the channel. Hope everybody's doing fantastic out there. Thank you for stopping by the channel. If you guys could subscribe, that'd be great. Hit that like button, comment. But I've heard all the Groot jokes. Anyway, I just got back from Dwyane Wade's statue unveiling over at the Kaseya Center. Thank you to the Miami Heat for having us out there. Appreciate my boy Lorenzo for keeping me in a good spot today, even though they were trying to kick me out. Nah, guys, just listen. Security people are just trying to do their job, man. I get it, but I was standing strong. I got a great post up spot right in front of the stage for Dwyane Wade and his statue unveiling. Man, if you're a Heat fan, this day was just it doesn't even feel like Goosey's Galore does it justice. Like, it doesn't even feel like that does it justice. And it was so cool to be amongst all of Heat Nation celebrating this moment. It was so damn cool, man. I've been to pretty much every Dwyane Wade milestone post-career in person. I've been to the jersey retirement, the whole weekend that they did there. I've been to the Hall of Fame night. I was at Dwyane Wade's return game when he was a Chicago Bull. That made me want to cry. Man, that guy's always handled himself with such grace. And this was obviously a really, really great week and much deserved. Pat Riley surprised him with this last year when he came back for his Hall of Fame celebration, and they said they were going to do a statue, and they did. And heard from the artists today. I honestly, this is the thing that's crazy about it, though. I guess we'll get the elephant out of the room first, because I do want to talk about the things that were said. But I walked down. Okay, so this was an interesting thing. I was sitting really, really close. And I think you guys know my camera's really good for the size it is. Like, I get a really, really good zoom. And I saw, so they do the Dwyane Wade statue unveiling, and it was cool. They had like fire behind it. The box throws out. He's got the jersey. And you know what the funny thing is? My head, I know everybody's gone to like the face, and that's where everybody's, but my head didn't even go there. I was just like, man, look at that. The jersey. And I always picture in a jersey and in a statue, I always picture like it being all brass. Like, I don't picture colors on it. So it's got like the Heat colors, and it's got the jersey, and he's doing the point. We all knew it was going to be This Is My House, but he's there on like a scorer's table. And I knew the face, right? Like, the face is, of him. This is my house. This thing. So whatever. I didn't even know this was a thing. I wasn't paying attention. I was just shooting, getting my stuff. I was getting the speech, following along with the speech, getting some reaction shots, and I get down, and some reporters that I'm talking to like, did you see the face? Did you notice the statue? And I was like, well, what about it? And they're like, it doesn't look like him. It's like it's getting panned all over social media. And it was. People are crushing it. And I got to say, the picture that everybody's going with that is gone viral, it's going all over memes, all over the place. They're like, it doesn't look like him. And I'm like, it doesn't? Because I zoomed in pretty damn close on it, as you can see right here. And I was like, kind of looks like the celebration face that he makes when he hits the game winner. And I know, guys, like, look, you guys are going to do the thing. Tobin, you're a Heat homer. You're a DWade lover. Get off it. Enough. I genuinely was like, I don't get what the issue is here. I really this is one of those things. Now, I must be wrong, because everybody hates it. Everybody hates it. And maybe people weren't swooned by the speeches like I was. I was sweet talked, and I could, but I'm fully prepared to say I could be wrong here. Okay. I loved Rocky V. Everybody hates Rocky V. So this could be just one of those opinions you and I aren't just going to see on. I will tell you, for everybody who is like killing the heat on this, if you really don't like the photo, but I would say, here's the statue, okay? And here is Dwyane Wade on the scorer's table. Pretty good. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Dude, maybe I am friggin' crazy, okay? But aside from that, Dwyane Wade basically handheld these guys through the entire process. And I don't think people know that, in that Dwyane Wade literally was spending, because we went to his media session afterwards, and Dwyane Wade spent days, and like I think he said he made 4 trips, 4 hours a piece to Chicago. These guys did the Michael Jordan statue. They did the Kobe statue. D-Wade was so detailed in this, he went down to like the big red gum that he's chewing in his mouth. So, and he said, like, it can't, and I don't know if D-Wade knew what was going on over social media at the time, but people are crushing this. He's like, I think it's one of the greatest statues of all time. Now, listen, this is a man who's always been very, very comfortable in his fashion, very, very comfortable in people who buck against what he thinks is cool. But I don't know, man. I just was like, I thought it was an awesome statue. I thought it would look cool. There were fireballs when I saw it like get unveiled, so that maybe deterred me and blinded me and got off my thing a little bit. But I thought the statue looked good. I thought it did. I'm not doing like the thing. I was genuinely like, I would tell you if I thought if the statue sucked. And I don't know. I actually was bummed because after all this happened and D-Wade spoke, I was like, all right, I'm going to go give because I was, I had my Zoom on, but I didn't get to go like up close and personal to it. I was, probably 50 feet away from it. And, my camera's got a very good zoom on it. So I thought I got a pretty good detailed look on it. I will tomorrow. And I was like, it's kind of a walk. I don't know how many people are still there. I'm going to give it a boots on the ground official review tomorrow. But I like it, man. I like it. I thought it came out good. I think everybody's kind of just being miserable bastards, to be honest with you. I will say from afar, it looks, he's got the very aggressive face. But if you guys don't remember This Is My House, this is one of the things when I think we get into group thing. If you don't remember This Is My House and the photos of This Is My House, that's the face he's making. Is like, he's like he's roaring on This Is My House. So, I don't know. Complete difference of opinion on it, man. I don't know. That's just me. As far as D-Wade was concerned, I'm going to do another video on the comments he made about the current Heat team because I found them interesting. They got a lot of reaction from people, and I want to get you guys reactions to that separately as opposed to just rip the statue, you bastards. Shout out, by the way, to all the viewers who said hello today out at Heat Nation and at the ceremony. But I did think the coolest thing, it was just an awesome event. You go there and the whole Heat contingency there is up front with the Harrisons, the Rileys, Spo and his kids. And then Andy Ellisberg, you saw Bam Adebayo from the current team. Asia Wilson, huge Heat fan. She must love Dwyane Wade. That was such a monster Dwyane Wade fan to just come to the D-Wade ceremony. That was awesome of Asia Wilson. Udonis Haslam obviously was there. Zoe was there. Hassan Whiteside was there. Jay Rich, Pella, Jaime. Yeah, it was a great turnout. It was really, really cool to see. Scary Terry was there. And then on the national side of things, Stephen A. Smith was there. Stephen A. Smith had his own assigned seat. He was there. He was a guest. Rick Ross performed. Carmelo Anthony was there. Ray Allen was there. I got to be honest with you. I don't like how Ray's all chummy with the Celtics. I don't like how he's all chummy with the Celtics all of a sudden now that they're winning. And this is going to lead into what DWade had to say, because he had some interesting comments afterwards that actually reflected on the Celtics. But I don't like how he's all of a sudden, like, they're all buddy-buddy with him now because the Celtics won a championship. I don't like that it's like, oh, he's back in the fold. They didn't show up for your Hall of Fame, Ray. All right? They ousted you. All right? There was only one team around that was giving you love the entire time. And plus, you hit the biggest shot of your career in the Miami Heat. So, whatever. I'm still salty. Pat Riley was awesome. Not surprised. Udonis just telling great stories about what Dwyane Wade was like as a young Heat player. I threw up all the speeches separately on the page if you guys want to check them out. The whole thing in full is on the Heat's YouTube page. You guys can check it out there if you just want to binge it. His son actually had a really cool speech. Zaire spoke and talked about this idea of you got to enjoy the traffic. And I had a real smart ass behind me who goes, "Nobody likes that." I'm like, thanks, dude. You're really in depth there. You've really grasped the concept here of this whole thing. But man, ultimately, this was an awesome night for Dwyane Wade. Gonna be cool tomorrow. I think anybody who goes to the game tomorrow is going to get to go see the statue. That's going to be really, really cool. And people can say what they want. They can be haters online. But don't lie. Y'all are going to go get selfies with it and get the goosies. I know you will. And looking forward to seeing him get honored with this tomorrow. And, he mentioned this today, this idea of, like, because his son brought up the traffic, he goes, yeah, because it kind of feels like, could this be the end of the bachelor? Like, what's left after this? Bam has joked that we've, D-Wade's almost retired 4 different times in a Heat jersey. And Jax made the point today, Jason Jackson, the MC of the event. He said that how long, do we do this to him? He's like, we're going to celebrate this man forever. And statues are forever, and we should. And he's right. But what do you do after a statue? Like, I don't know what's left to go. It was cool, though, I will say. That was the statue ceremony, man. I did get the drive-by today. I did drive by, and I did get to see, officially, it is up. I saw it with my own 2 peepers. Dwyane Wade Boulevard is officially up. Man, it was cool to see. I've had this sign now for, I think I've had it for like 6 years. Actually, the station actually bought this one. I took it from the old studio. But promotions department bought it. And we ended up getting a really big one because DWade, it was funny. So to take you guys to the story of DWade Boulevard, if you guys don't know the whole thing, and our little piece of it is Dwyane Wade wasn't going to re-sign with the Miami Heat, right? He wasn't sure. It was before One Last Dance, to take people all the way back. It was before One Last Dance. Wasn't sure that he was gonna do it. And so I was filling in on the hosting side of chairs. I was filling in, I guess, for Zaslow technically that day, because Amber was driving and Romberg was co-hosting, and they had me in the 3rd seat. And we were just talking about DWade, and I'm like, you know what we should do? Like, everybody does naming the street after the guy is done. We should rename Biscayne Boulevard, all of it. All of Biscayne Boulevard. Because I was like, what is even Biscayne Boulevard? We should rename Biscayne Boulevard after Dwyane Wade. And I put a tweet out about it. I said, this is an official proclamation. And it got a lot of traction, and it was really, really cool. And then I think the next step of it was like Tony Fiorentino, I think, retweeted it. Something like that. Like Tony Fiorentino retweeted the idea, and I think it was, so it was either like a soundbite or something, but he retweeted something, and Dwyane Wade liked it. Like, it was the first time he acknowledged, kind of like this idea of a street named after me. And so that was cool. And then, so we just did a gimmick, and I told you, so promotions ended up buying us a sign. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And we ended up, I was in Vegas. I took a picture and I posted the sign up on, it was funny. We got the sign, and posts the sign up on there of me in the studio with the first Dwyane Wade Blvd sign ever, in hopes that it was going to get some traction. And it was, I think Dwyane, I don't remember if that was the first tweet or it was like, he said something like, y'all want to try and see a grown man cry. And then we put the sign up, and then he was like, he goes, oh, can I get one of those signs from my house? And we're like, yeah, of course, you're Dwyane Wade. Well, so we went and we bought Dwyane Wade like a big one, but we were like, how do we get the sign to Dwyane Wade? We don't know. So I had now a big version of the Dwyane Wade Blvd sign that was now in the studio, and I took the little one home. But to take everybody through the steps, so it ended up getting real traction with a campaign video that I did. And what I ended up wanting to do was get a lot of celebrities to say, give Dwyane Biscayne. And so we got to go to Heat Media Day. And I think the first guy I got to do it was Goran Dragic, because Gogi loved DWade and Gogi did it. So that was cute. I had a good connection with Karan Butler, who wasn't with the Heat at the time. I knew Karan's PR person, and who's a boxing promoter, a boxing publicist as well. They get back to me. He was in China, and Karan Butler sent like a 4-minute video, and I only needed like 15 seconds. But he Karan and DWade, that's love between those guys. Then I ended up getting some other guys from the other teams. Barkov ended up doing it with the Panthers. We knew the connection from DWade hitting him, jiving into the stands. The Marlins sent a couple of guys. Louis Brinson was a local guy. He was a big Heat fan. Miguel Rojas was kind of their guy, so they threw it in. Jim Larinaga ended up doing a video. I was like, this is all pretty cool. Like something's happening here. But the video still needed like the guy to make it go viral. I even actually also had, just to kind of throw in a different spice, I put Harold Calderon, King Harold Calderon, my guy, local boxer from Miami. By the way, is fighting coming up on November 2nd. Good luck to my guy. But I ended up, we ended up getting to do an interview on the Carnival Cruise Line. We were promoting Shaq becoming the CFO, the chief fun officer of Carnival. And they said, hey, you guys are going to get to interview Shaq. I'm like, badass, I've never gotten to interview Shaq. So, and we also got to interview Alonzo. And Alonzo was really great. If you guys heard the interview, he remembered that interview. But at the end, I was like, hey, Alonzo, can you say into the camera, give Dwyane Biscayne? He did it. No, I was a little nervous because I'm like, is he going to be part of the show? But he's like, give Dwyane Biscayne. He was all about it. And then Shaq, I ended up trying to get him to do it. And he's like, as Shaq is one to do, he like trolls and doesn't do it. Right? He's like, I'm not going to, do politics or any of that type of stuff. Why don't you make it I remember what he said. He said, why don't we make it UD Boulevard? Why is DWade getting a boulevard? I'm like, why are you messing with me? Well, we can make UD the roundabout around the arena. He goes, that's a cul-de-sac. I'm like, oh, come on, Shaq. That's not fair. And then at the end of the interview, though, because we were so I didn't have it on my phone, but thankfully our crew was recording the interview, and they said, politicians, we want all of Biscayne Boulevard named after Dwyane Wade. And I knew as soon as Shaq did it, because Shaq is a monster star, boom, we got ourselves a video. Cut the video together. I started driving through the streets of Miami, Marlins Park, the Hurricanes Arena, AAA, all these places, the Carnival Cruise Line. Cut the video together, make it a minute, pretty fast for social media, boom, takes off, and and I tag all the people on it, and they all start like retweeting it, and it gets a lot of traction and a lot of attention. So all of a sudden, give Dwyane Biscayne becomes a thing. We're off to the races to try and make Dwyane Wade Boulevard a thing.
I want to play my way.
Politicians, we want all of Biscayne named Dwyane Wade Boulevard.
There'll be another parade. Yes, Dwyane Wade Boulevard.
I won't get you guys in the nitty gritty of the politics of it, because I didn't realize like all of the things that went into renaming a street, because it has taken a ridiculously long time. When Dirk Nowitzki retired, those Cowboys, they made Dirk Nowitzki street in like 3 seconds. He had a street. Dwyane Wade, it had to go through so much red tape. First, I went to first of all, Biscayne Boulevard's a state street. It's not a Miami-Dade street, so nobody in the county really has control over it, and it's already technically named, which I did not know. I believe it's named for Jorge Mas. I don't know of the Mas family, if there's a relation there, but it was already technically named. And also, the person who would have had to make the move, he wasn't going to make the move. He stonewalled, wasn't going to do it. And the person who did, to be fair, to really give it in on it, was Mayor Francis Suarez. He was all in on it. He was like, we're going to try and make this a thing. But it had to go through a lot of city commissions and approvals. And then that had to get doubly approved to have the street signs officially go up. And all of that got done probably. So the video went out in 2018, went back and forth with a lot of politicians for a couple of years. All the while, Dwyane Wade, by the way, had reached out to me and he had said, like, appreciate the love. He had sent me a message on Instagram about it, and it was really cool. I was like, oh, you're Dwyane Wade. And I hadn't been really into covering the Heat like that. You know, I hadn't been in the locker rooms in a while. I was mostly focused on just the radio career, so it was pretty badass. Eventually, what happens is, goes through all this red tape. Francis Suarez makes an official declaration. DWade retweets it, sends a tweet to me about it, which was really, really cool. And then it kind of goes into a stance. I invite Mayor Suarez, into the studio, and he's like, hey, this is going to happen. This is great. Boom. Literally, like, the day after the interview happens, maybe 2, pandemic. And not only pandemic, he becomes one of the public figures of the guy who actually gets COVID. And, like, remember he was doing, like, vlogs. I'm here alone, isolated from my family. You know, like, it was crazy times. And so, like, Dwyane Wade Boulevard was approved, but it was, like, gone in ether. It was, like, just not a thing. So, fast forward to the Heat end up making the finals, and I end up reaching out to DWade because we followed each other back and forth on social media, and I was like, hey, would you mind coming on the show to talk about the Heat in the finals in Dwyane Wade Boulevard? And it got set up through his people. He ended up, like, you know, one of his people then reached out to me. We set up the schedule. He did the interview. He did like 20 minutes with us. It was super cool. And we ended up giving him the giant sign. I was like, hey, can you tell us where to send this? And he did. He ended up telling us where to send the sign. And he ended up putting it up in his house. There were some Instagram photos of him putting it up in his house. It was really, really cool. But all that red tape and legal tape, this thing was just in limbo. Like, and I think it like officially got approved. Like, it officially got named sometime, like, so it got officially named, but like no signs were up, and like just nothing happened. And then like we had COVID, and the mayor was going to run for president. So I'm like, who do I reach out for this? Because Francis Suarez was trying to run for president. Who's going to put these signs up, you know? But I guess finally, and I actually did end up calling him out a couple times on the radio. I think actually like a week ago. I don't think that's the reason why it went up, but sure as bleep, I was taking my son home from, my son and I were driving around, after dropping his sister off at tutoring, and we pull up to a GameStop. We're going to go video game shopping, get the Heat noties. I got the Heat on noties, boop, and see the sign up. Super, super cool. Drove by it today, and then the video that they put out today of Dwyane Wade with his kids all getting to touch the sign. Dude.
Yeah, Kyle, get up there. DH.
Z, put your hand up. Put your hand up. It's our sign. Family sign. What's that? Zai, put your hand up there.
Another big step, please. Thank you.
Wait.
That was awesome. That was freaking awesome. Like, I know that it ain't a statue, because statue's cool, whether you guys think the face is weird or not, but that was really cool. I was happy to see that. I was really, really happy to see that had finally gotten done. He deserves it. Took a long time. Hell of a, but if you're gonna do it on a weekend, hell of a weekend to put that up too. Dwyane Wade Boulevard officially being put up, and the statue is now there forever. This is his house.